What's up? Welcome to Backend Stuff. I'm Jacob Blitzo, here to help you build tech for the future. Think about scalability, reliability, and cost. If you want to learn how to build scalable, production-ready APIs, hit that subscribe button now. Today we are installing Docker Desktop and getting a local container with Postgres spun up. What is Docker? Docker allows us to package and run an application in a loosely isolated environment called a container. The isolation and security allows you to run multiple containers at the same time on a given host. Containers are lightweight and contain everything needed to run the application, so you don't need to rely on what's currently installed on the host. So what is a container? It's a runnable instance of an image. It can be ran on local machines, virtual machines, or deployed to the cloud, which is a server. It's isolated from other containers and runs its own software, binaries, and configurations. And what is an image? It's an isolated file system. It must contain everything needed to run an application. So all the dependencies, configuration, scripts, binaries, etc. So let's get Docker Desktop installed. Let's go ahead and open up our browser. And we need to go to docs.docker.com. Lots of awesome resources here. We're going to just go ahead and go to the download and install. And then you need to pick the environment, whatever operating system you're running on, and walk through those steps. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to click on Mac. And I have the Silicon chip, so I'm going to click on that one. And now we'll let our download go. Oh, also, check out this sweet mug. I got a Blork flying saucer mug with Blork on there drinking out of an Elixir mug. Pretty dope. I'm excited about it. Okay, let's go ahead and open up that DMG file, and we'll just drag Docker over to our applications. All right, now let's go ahead and open Docker. All right, you'll see it up in your toolbar starting up. We can go ahead and open the dashboard, and it'll tell us that Docker is starting. And there you go. Now what we'll do is we need to open up our browser again. And this time let's go to hub.docker.com. And we need to find our Postgres image. So we need to click on Explore here. And let's just go ahead and search for Postgres. We want the official image of Postgres here. So click on the top here. And you'll see that all we have to do is do a Docker pull Postgres in our terminal. And since we installed Docker Desktop, all these commands are now available to us. So we can go ahead and open up our terminal. And we can just do, I'll make this bigger so you can see it. Okay, and then we can do Docker pull Postgres. And this pulls the latest image of Postgres for us. All right, and then once that's done, we have the image on our system sitting in Docker. Now we can spin up our container, but we're going to do some custom commands. So it's has a password and username we want. Make sure it's on the right ports, and we also want to name our container. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Docker space run, and then we're going to do a -- name, and this is the name of the container being created. And we're just going to name it bs_db. And then we're going to go ahead and do a space -p and assign the port mapping. And we're going to use the same port that is already natively available or open on Postgres. And that is 5432. And you could normally port a different port to 5432 if you wanted to, but we're going to do the same ports here to make things a little easier. And we don't have anything running on other ports for a conflict. And then we want to set an environment variable. So space -e, and we want to do Postgres_user. And it's important to have them all capitalized. And then we want to set our username here. And we'll just do backend_stuff. And then do another space. And we want another environment variable. So a -e space. And then this is Postgres_password. And all capital again. And then whatever you set this to, I'll set this one to Blork_Erlang for the password. And it is important, we want to set our own passwords on the Postgres image. I have discovered, at least in some of my production running servers, when I was just spinning things up in a test environment, if you leave the default usernames, so I believe it's just Postgres, there is a Trojan hiding on the image. Isn't that just so friendly? It spins up a crypto mining bot or something of that nature, and it steals your resources and mines crypto. So you want to change the password here so that doesn't happen to you. And then we're going to do a space-d, and this means we're running our container in detached mode, which means it runs in the background instead of, spinning up and running in the terminal. It spins up detached, and so we still have use of our terminal, and it just runs as a container in the background, in a background process. And then space after D, we want to now call the image we want to create the container with, and that is Postgres. That's the name of the container we just downloaded with our Docker pull Postgres. And now when we hit enter, it will go ahead and spin that up. And now we can do Docker PS to see all of our running containers. And you'll see our container with an ID here. The image name is Postgres. And then you'll see our name BSDB. We can also, let's say we forgot what username and password we set, or we want to know the IP address of it. So we can do something like a Docker inspect, and you can either do the container ID number, or which is easier, is the container name that we assign. So we can do BS_DB, and there you go. You can see the IP address that it's sitting on. And then if we scroll up, you can see that the 5432 port is open. And then you can see our environment variables. So we see the Postgres user, backend stuff, and the password we set. All right, so that's pretty cool. And we can also, if you like, GUIs, we can open up the dashboard. We can see our database sitting right here. We can click on it. We can inspect, and we can see the Postgres username here, the password here, and you can see a lot of the other information. So that is also pretty cool. So our database is up and running and ready for us to connect an API to and push data to persist. As always, if you need help or want to check out the solutions, check out the GitHub link in the description below. And if you have more questions or just want to hang out and chat, please join my Discord server, Backend Stuff. That link is also in the description. If you want to learn how to build scalable, production-ready APIs, hit that subscribe button now. See you next time.